Alright, welcome to day 1, the Vera Series. I decided to change the name to this because we're about to go into 2.1 and we're going to discover more secrets about Vera. So starting out, we did not get a level increase, and I don't believe we're going to get one until we reach 2.1. So if you're like me and you have not reached level cap, I recommend that you do the story or do some Frontier Clash normals and really try to reach that level cap before 2.1 starts, because you're going to want to quickly try to get to level 80 so that way you can run those in-game dungeons. Starting out, you want to go to our artificial island and you want to go to build, and then you want to hit claim, because remember, you can only hold these resources for 24 hours. On top of that, I do want to give you a reminder to go ahead and clear your enemies. I have not, and we're getting closer to that Procrastinator day, so trust me, you don't want to wait till that day. Then of course we got the exchange door. You want to make sure you buy your weekly items, and next you want to do Mia's kitchen. Then we have our bounties. Now personally, I usually choose Aspera because I find it easier, but a lot of people have said no, Vera is the way to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and try it out, guys, and I'm gonna do Vera for a couple days. Next we got Vitality, starting with joint operations. So for today, we got access to Bracer's Chest, a Huma, and a Samir Matrix. So this is actually a pretty good dungeon to do, but if you want to go ahead and pass, you could consider doing the end game, especially if you need to upgrade your physical or boat gear, which brings us to Interstellar Exploration. And remember, you want to check Vera as well as check Aspera, and you want to see if you have any level 3 Stargates, and how you can tell is if this weapon battery category has a 3, but if it has a 2, it's a level 2 Stargate. But if you don't have any level 3s or level 2s, you could always do Dimensional Trials, and if you need money, you could always do Space-Time Domains. But again, you might want to try to go ahead and get max Omnium Beacons for level 80. But as Enzo said, I want to go ahead and mention that if you are laying down these Omnium Beacons, you do want to be careful because other people can take them and you might not get the full rewards. Personally, what I do, I usually use Meryl's trait to where she can just freeze the water and I can throw out a bunch of Omnium Beacons very far out in the water. But a couple other good places that I noticed was throwing it on top of the Tower of Fantasy, also throwing it just in this location here because there's a lot of bushes, buildings, etc. So generally you're looking for difficult locations to get to. Some people are expert Omnium Beacon hunters, so no matter what you do, they will find it. But most of the time, I have about a 50-50 shot if I just throw it out there in the water. But let me know down in the comments, do you guys got any good Omnium Beacon locations? Next, we have our optionals, and that's giving gifts to your 1.0 characters. And the best way to do that is to do the Black Market, Dita's Island, and doing the Claw Machine, are knocking out your 2 trainings for the day. But what is not optional is you want to do your 6 Fun Zones, and you want to try to do your 6 Greyspace Fishers. And if you need help on how to do that, I got a guide on my channel. Now let me talk about Childlike Innocence. And I was wrong, I didn't get any bubble points when I was doing assist mode, just like, and I'm going to try to pronounce this name, Manimanok said. But he did mention doing bosses is the much better way to get bubble points. And I have to agree, last night I was able to hop in multiple boss parties and I was getting 40 points for every Force Decipher that I did. I think I was able to knock this out in 10 minutes because there was so many parties trying to do bosses for this bubble event. But the other way that I basically found that's pretty decent but definitely not as good as bosses is just to kind of go around and open up purple password chests or blue password chests and Force Decipher those. I think one of the greatest places to do that is to go to Artificial Island. There's so many password chests over there, you can just really go around and open up a lot of those. But again, you get 15 points for a purple and you get 2 points for a blue, so you can clearly see if you kill one boss you get 40. But we did get an emergency bug fix last night. It seems like they fixed the issue to where Samir was able to constantly use her skill as long as you had Saki in the party. So quite a few people were able to climb up some Bygone levels using this little trick. If you were able to do it, hey, good for you, and hopefully you got rank 1 for the week. But I guess I'm just gonna have to settle with 200 dark crystals. And if you enjoy these daily guides, I would greatly appreciate a like so that way they can spread more on YouTube. Then we have our weekly tab. You want to make sure you do enough things down here so that way you can get everything up top, which brings us to our challenges. Now if you're trying to do something like the Bygone Phantasm or Frontier Clash, you might want to save your Mia's kitchen so that way you can power yourself up. So starting with the Bygone Phantasm. But again, I recommend that you take a look at this weapon bonus, and if your CS is high enough, you can hit this sneak to next level. If you're able to beat the level that it jumps you up to, you can gain 11 levels. But after that, I recommend that you do the Sequential Phantasm, especially if you're able to reach level 78, so that way you're at your max power. Because remember, this is going to really determine your rank for the week. And so far, it's still 380 is the floor to beat, so I'd still say I have a pretty good chance. Void Rifts. We got another attempt today, so you want to make sure you go ahead and knock that out so that way you got a chance for that matricy. And if this is a first time boss for you, you definitely want to do it. Wormhole. It resets, so we got another 5 days to go ahead and knock this out. I recommend that you do this sooner rather than later because you could wait until Lin comes out, but I mean, we're gonna have 2.1 and various other things we have to do. So for me personally, I think it's better just to get it knocked out sooner rather than later. And the raids. We're getting towards the end of the week, so make sure you do all 3 of these raids and you do them on heroic mode. Frontier Clash. Now, if you have an attempt, you want to probably go ahead and knock that out, or you could wait till tomorrow where we get that last attempt and knock all of them out. And Apex League. If you're trying to reach Grand Marshal, you might want to put a couple hours in each day. Then we got our daily buys, so you want to go to shop, then buy your 2 vitality solutions. Now, this is only if you can afford it, which brings us to the Commissary, starting with the Crystal Dust store. So you want to make sure you buy your advancement modules, your booster modules, and your Vera special gift. Then when it comes to your potent Omnium crystal, if you're getting close to 8.1 or you're in 8.1, you might want to consider buying this. But if not, I would just recommend passing, because we do get enough to get up to an 8.3 suppressor through exploration and doing some of the Greyspace. But what you can do with your Golden Crystal Dust, I recommend that you get a good pair of boots. And if you have a good pair of boots, then you should try to get a good pair of handguards. And if you have a good pair of handguards, then you can buy whatever else you want. FaceTime store. Now again, I recommend that you save your purple crystal fragments for 2.1. And when it comes to golden crystal fragments, you can go ahead and buy combat engines, or you could try to save a little bit just in case you need it for 2.1. Crew store. Now the only thing you should be spending your points on are relic shards, and the relics that I recommend are Space-Time Rift, unless you have a level 3, or Omnium Shield. And how you get crew points is by doing your daily donations and knocking out your 4 missions for the week. Support store. You want to make sure you buy your 3 joint supply chips for the week, and if you can, try to get the proof of purchase and the gold nucleus. And if you need help on how to get return support points, I got a guide on my channel. Point store. Now the only thing I recommend is that you get a spare special gift, so that way you don't have to do training, black market, or see this island again. But if you need to level up your matrices or weapons, you could always consider getting matrix data packs or weapon batteries. But besides that, we do have 2.1 coming out on Tuesday, so I still recommend that you want to explore Vera, so that way you can get more resources to help you in 2.1. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If so, feel free to check out what I think about the 2.1 announcement. But other than that, talk to you guys later.